Okay, and I'm gonna mute you, not because oh wait, I don't know if I can you mute yourself?
I can, let
Okay.
me.
And then if you want to say anything or have any questions, just type it in the chat box and then I can talk to you from there. Okay, cool. So, all right, we have like 10, 15 minutes. So, and I totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh, all right. So, first thing is, I was talking about the group. My husband runs this Disney group. And so actually a lot of people on our team I met through that Disney group. One of the things I really love to do is just get to know people. I always have. So that's always, I've just gotten to know a lot of people, not just from that group. I run a women's business group also locally. I've gotten to know a lot of people through that. But groups are a really good way to connect with people who you have stuff in common with. And you can have a conversation without saying like, hey, have you ever heard of Shakeology? Or, hey, do you want to do this weight loss thing with me? You can actually have a real conversation with them. And then as you get to know them, if they seem like a cool person, or if they happen to mention to you that they're trying to lose weight, it can come up naturally. So that's one way. Another thing that I do that I always tell you guys is when I post a picture, and especially a transformation photo, every single person that likes or comments that picture gets a message from me. So just as an example, 2 nights ago, and this is something everybody should be doing too, I took a picture from our team. So it wasn't one of my transformation photos. It was somebody else on our team, because I don't always want it to be me, me, me. Like I want people to see that this works for everybody. And so I try to post those transformations at least once a week. Usually on Tuesday, I'll do like a Transformation Tuesday post. So this woman who I posted her picture, she had an incredible transformation. I would highly recommend that all of you go look. You can steal it and you can share it yourself if you want. I had so much action from that. I sold 2 challenge packs from posting that. So yeah, I was like shocked. And I had one of the people who messaged me had basically told me to like buzz off a while ago when I messaged her. And then I had another woman who was actually quite rude to me, who messaged me wanting to know more. And she's still kind of like thinking about it, because she also sort of insinuated that maybe the pictures were fake, which they weren't. But, some people are just very cynical. And just a side note to that, if you ever post pictures like that and somebody makes that comment, if they make it publicly, delete it. But sometimes people will question me about that. Like, is that really, true? When I share posts, I usually share them from our coaching pages, and those people, when they post on our team pages, they have no reason to doctor those photos. They're showing it to a bunch of coaches. So, that's what I always tell people. And plus, like, it sort of questions my integrity. So if I feel like the person's really being sort of like standoffish and hostile, I'll usually I block a lot of people, because I just don't need that negativity in my life. So, but this woman was very genuine. She said, I just kind of, I'm a little curious because I was wondering if maybe she was wearing something that was sucking in her waist. And, I did explain that that's just, there would be no reason for her to do that. She's posting it to a bunch of Beachbody people. Like, you're preaching to the choir. Like, we're already sold on it. But so anyway, I really did get a lot from that post. So that was one thing I really wanted to touch on tonight, is that, like a lot of you guys are good about sharing your journey and what you're doing, but it's really, really important. It's really important that you share what other people are doing too. You guys have free reign. You can take anything off of my page that I ever, whether it's my own transformation photos, whether it's other people's stories. You can take stuff from Set Your Soul on Fire. There's a whole album dedicated to it. Plus people post in there all the time. You can also go to the Beachbody blog, has that Beachbody challenge page, and there are tons of pictures in there. So any of those, usually the ones from the Beachbody page don't always get as much, just because they're sort of like, I don't want to say they're commercially, but they usually are branded and they have like something on them. The ones that look more like raw and real get the most play. And for me, I try to find pictures that are either like really, I don't know if you saw the picture I posted on Tuesday, but this woman it was amazing. In 30 days, she didn't say anything about her weight loss. She just posted the pictures. I don't know how many inches she lost or anything. And I will tell you, so many people private messaged me asking me if I knew how much weight she lost. my response was, does it matter? Look at her. Does it really matter how many pounds she lost? She never mentioned it, because I suspect that she's probably one of those people who doesn't focus on the scale, which I think is awesome. I think we tend to obsess about that a little too much. So, when I look for pictures like that, I tend to find stuff that's like dramatic, but still realistic. I try not to post like the super skinny, muscular pictures, because my target market isn't really I'm sure they'd all love to look like that, but realistically, I want people to see, what they can do. And then the other thing that I do is I find pictures of people who have chronic illness and thyroid issues, because I like to post it and say, this gives me hope. This shows me what's possible, because I'm very open about my journey. Everyone who follows me knows that I'm struggling to lose weight again. So I like to show those, not just for me, but for all the people out there who are struggling with something like that, to show them that somebody out there was able to do this, and maybe we can do it too. So that's what I look for. But whenever you guys share stuff, you want to think about who your ideal customer is and if it's going to appeal to them, because my target market is mostly women, and so I don't really share pictures of guys, because I just don't really see the point. But each one of us is different. Each one of us has a different target market. So just think about who your ideal customer is, and that's really how you should be building your marketing and what you're putting out there. So I wanted to share that. The other thing I just wanted to talk about a little bit, what I was planning on doing tonight, I'll probably do next week, because I think it's going to take a little longer. But I wanted to just talk a little bit about what your goals are as coaches, aligned with what your actions are. So and I know, a lot of you I've talked to would like to, make this more of a full-time gig, or maybe even make it a part-time income. And what I'd really like to see are the actions that need to be done. And so that was one of the reasons why I put that contest together. And I think all of you saw that. I posted last week that, you'll get points for filling out the business activity tracker and getting on these calls and, getting SC points and signing up coaches. Those are all things that are I'm not just making this up because I thought it would be fun to have a contest. These are things that will really propel you forward in your business. And if you think about it, getting Success Club points and signing coaches, those are more outcomes than actions. The actions that really need to be taken are filling out that business activity tracker. And that at the very least should be done by everybody. I'm only asking you to send it to me so I know that you did it, so I can give you points, but that should be part of your daily routine. If you don't like that activity tracker, it's in the files, which if I can share my screen, I'll show you. I was going to go through this tracker, but you guys can figure it out. Let me see here. Oh no, I want my desktop. I always have trouble when I try to share. Why won't it click? There we go. Okay. Can you see this? Okay. So if we go, there are the files. Okay. Facebook changed on me again, and I'm like, where is everything? So in the files, right here is the business activity tracker. If you don't like this one there, you can Google it. There are tons of different ones out there. You can make up your own, whatever, or you can, I know some people, I did for a long time, use a notebook and write stuff down. But this actually will allow you to track the things that you've done. So right here, you've got, be proof the product works. That's, one of our 4 vitals. So you can check those off. And then, and you can write your goals in this column here. And then it runs Thursday through Wednesday, because that's what our week for Beachbody starts on a Thursday. Our pay period is from Thursday to Wednesday. So that's why it's like that. But some people like to do Sunday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday. You can, if you want to change this up, you can. And so it allows you to check off all of this stuff, your personal development, staying connected, which includes all of your calls and checking on your, your different Facebook pages and stuff like that. Then your social media, you should be posting 3 times a day. It doesn't clarify this here, but you should be posting 3 times a day to all the platforms you're on. So if you're like me and you're on Facebook, Instagram, and you have a Facebook business page, you should be posting on each of those 3 times a day. So that's actually 9 posts. Now there's some overlap. If you look at my Instagram and you look at my business page and you look at my Facebook, sometimes I post the same thing on 2 or even 3 of those sometimes. But the more you post, the more people are going to see. So that's why it says that. Your new contacts, you should be adding at least 2 to 5 new people every day. Inviting people to join a challenge group, or it can be a fit club, it can be a free group, whatever it is, but you've got to reach out to people. Just posting is not going to be enough to get people. I mean, when you have established yourself more and you get to more of a level of like where I'm at, or, you know, even higher, people will reach out to you. I do get people reaching out to me, but it didn't happen very often until just recently. So that's why you need to actually reach out, private message people, pick up the phone, text them, whatever. Invite people to learn about the business. I like to do this on Instagram because I can target people a little bit better. But also what I'll do is I'll reach out to challengers. So people who have already purchased the product, they're already drinking their Shakeology. If they're going to continue their Shakeology, to me, it's a no-brainer. They should sign up with a Coach account because they're going to save, what it works out to is about $17 savings a month, because it's about $17 a month to be a coach. And then they're saving 25% off their Shakeology. So it works out to, after the coach fee, it works out to about $17 a month. So to me, it's worth it. And a lot of people agree, which is why I have a lot of discount coaches on my team. But it's important to do that. So, you know, through and play around with the hashtags. You know, and I know, Valerie, we talked about the hashtags and different ones that you can use. Play around with them. I find some that work for me, and then for a while they don't work for me. So I'll look for something different. So it's just a matter of figuring out, you know, what the people who you want on your team, what types of hashtags they're using, so you can search for those. And I'll usually just go through and I'll like a couple of their pictures. I'll comment on 1 or 2. I'll follow them, because then they're getting all these notifications, right? So my name is popping up for them. Then I send them a message. And I do have a script. I don't know if I've shared that with you, but I'll make sure that I do. I have a script that one of the other diamond coaches on the team had shared with me, and I tweaked it and made it my own. But it's like it's an invite, and then it's a follow-up, and then there's also an email that you can send to people if they want more information. So that's what I've been doing, and I've gotten a couple of coaches off of Instagram from that. And I've only been using Instagram for a few months. I wasn't consistent with it until I was consistent with it like a little bit up until when I got sick, and then I started up again in January. So, and I've been building it steadily since then. So it does work. So, and then you should be following up with people. And I did post, there's some awesome follow-up scripts that I got from one of the groups that I'm in. I posted that in our files, so you can use that. I just don't want to run into Amy. Okay, we have 1 minute. And then checking in with existing customers and connecting with your team. And then there's like a room down here to have like a follow-up list. I use Asana to keep track of everybody. I will do a training on that soon, so you guys can see how I use it. It has been a huge, huge game changer for my business, because I had a lot of people slipping through the cracks before. Now, I don't always get, I mean, my list, I have well over 1,000 people on my follow-up list. So I obviously don't get to everybody all the time, but at least I can keep track of them, and it sets a little reminder of what date I should check in with them, because I try to check in with people. After my initial conversation, I do 2 days, and then I do weekly, unless they say check in with me on the weekend or something, and then I'll note that. So this was actually what I was planning on doing tonight, so I did end up doing it. But I wanted to show you guys this business activity tracker, because you really should be filling it out every day. These right here are the activities that are going to propel your business forward. If you're not doing these, and even, I mean, if you don't have time to do all of them, you should be doing at least the majority of them. But if you're not doing any of these, or only doing like 1 or 2, you're not a coach. Like you're not building a business. You might be a hobby coach, or you might be a discount coach, but you're not actively building a coaching business. So that's just really important for you guys to understand, that these are the activities that are going to build a business and start earning you a paycheck. So I always forget how to get out of this. Stop share. I know how to use this stuff, but it's like when I have an audience, I'm just like technically challenged with everything. So I did stop the share. You can unmute yourself if you want, Valerie. And And I'm going to stop the recording now, but if anybody has any questions, just post below. I'm going to post this in the team page later. Just post in the comments and I will respond.